Alright, I've removed the carpet from the bathroom. The tile underneath is not any good anymore. I am a do-it-yourselfer, fairly confident, but I have never done this project before. So I'm going to walk you through it. Okay, so I made a little dam here at the door so that the stuff doesn't ooze out in some of the spots where there are big gaps. I did a little bit of concrete repair back there. Now I'm going to take out the toilet because the tile does need to go under it. We can clean it all up and then get back to our tiling. Okay, so you always stick something in your toilet hole so you don't drop stuff down. I put the duct tape there additionally because I don't want to take the plate off and I don't want the floor leveler getting in where the screws go or anything. So hopefully that's tied off. Now I'm ready to give the floor a quick sanding. I don't think this is going to need much, just enough to pull off any loose debris. And then we're going to clean the floor again. Time to do some vacuuming. And some wiping down. I meant to show you the pouring in process. Okay, what I did was I got a measured pitcher. And weighed out the correct amount from the bag, which is 10 pounds to a quart. It's better to use a power mixer. I don't have one, so here we go. Okay, that took about 4 minutes to stir. Before I get pouring, make sure you have your trowels ready, a float, a trowel to spread stuff with. Well, I'm going to start pouring back here. Obviously the furthest point away from the doorway. Make sure you've got everything set up and organized, and then get to pouring. So the blob is spreading. You see I've got some lumps in there. I'll go ahead and poke those out, stir them in. And then I've got plenty more in here. I'm just going to go ahead and start spreading with my float. Punch out those bad spots. Just take and just go ahead and spread it out. Try to keep it away from pulling up in one area, getting it pushed around. I had to dump some more back in here, but I think I'm just going to push all this back in here for now so I can get done with behind the toilet. Oh yeah, it's a good amount of ooze. And theoretically then it'll all just level itself off. As you can see right back here, it's definitely, the floor's pretty crooked. I got a lot of it back here, but I'm just going to pull some of the excess forward. I don't really want it any thicker than it needs to be. I have a tendency to not leave well enough alone, so I'm going to try and go against my tendency here. Just say, okay, fine, and let's see what the self-leveling stuff does, since that's what it's supposed to do. Okay, I'm ready for my next pour. I went ahead and added a pinch more water, thin this out a little bit. Alright, I was having some trouble running the float over it, but I just went ahead and put a little water over, and now the float is able to smooth out what I've got out here much easier. I mixed another 10 pounds and I made it much runnier than what the label on the bag recommended, and that was better. So it says 10 quarts to 10 pounds. I'm sorry, 1 quart to 10 pounds. You want to use a lot more water than that. It'll mix easier, it goes on easier, and it levels better. I'm throwing away my carpets in the next couple of weeks. I went ahead and cleaned them outside of the work area anyway. But you're going to want to make sure you cover all this area outside with some plastic and give yourself a nice clear pathway to get out, because you're going to get concrete everywhere if you don't. Alright, so dried overnight. It's actually looking okay. Now I started throwing tiles in here. They're just fitting them right now. And when you do this, a lot of people will try to start from the edge. It's not where you're supposed to start. Start from the middle of the room. Work your way out. So right now I'm just fitting to see where I need to make my cuts. Alright, I laid everything out and measured everything. You can see, you can mark it all off because I'm going to go out and cut it all. Want it so that when I put the goo on the floor, I've got all my pieces ready. Get our safety glasses. There they are. We do not cut without those. Alright, so I'm plugged in. Got my tiles marked. Got a pitcher of water. I'm going to go ahead and pour it right on into here. and where's that max line? Okay, now I've got my workstation set up. Got tools that I've been using, my tile, my miter, my saw set up, water in it, I've got a pitcher, I've got a place to put my cut tiles, and everything else is out of the way. Alright, now this is totally new to me, cutting this that's all hooked together. So let's just see how it works. Nice little platform there, I've got to kind of hold it up here. You notice I'm not cutting it right on my line, that's fine, because this is the part that's going to go under the toilet. Cutting a little more off is going to be fine. I don't want to have to recut little tiny slivers, that's a pain. So I'm going to turn it on here and show what's going down. Spit water everywhere, and I'm going to use 2 hands. Forget it's not going to cut curves, so cut there, and I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to cut here, and I'll turn it and cut there, and turn and cut there. I've gone ahead and taken off my straight edge because I'm just going to guide these through. So I'm going to do that one, and then I may actually just snap out these 2 pieces and cut them individually. Alright, this is the second tile, the second cut. And just like the last one, I'm going to go ahead and just use the box cutter to cut away the pieces I need, and then I'll make the final saw cut on that one by itself. Okay, you go through this water pretty fast. Keep an eye on it. About every 2 tiles I've been refilling it. I've just got this box on here so I can cut apart little pieces so that I can make easier cuts here. Saving all my scrap because you will need some of that. And when you're going through the saw, take your time, go nice and slow. It's not going to cut your whole hand off like a circular saw, but it'll do you some damage. So keep your fingers away from the blade. But just take your time, go through slowly. If you go through too quick, or if you try and make a turn with your straight blade, you will break pieces. Okay, for this cut, I am using the guide and my support box. Alright, box of fully cut, pre-marked tiles, spare tiles, and now we'll clean this up and head on back upstairs. Okay, we clean the floor, go out and gather our supplies, and now we're going to add the water, 3 liters. Alright, water added, and now I'm going to add the mortar. Okay, mortar's been added, now I need to mix this up. That wasn't going to be strong enough, so I brought this lovely trowel here. So, mixing this is not really all that fun, but yeah, we'll get it done. So we got to stir it, it all mixes in well, dig it off the bottom, and then I've got to wait another 5 minutes to let it set, and then I'll stir it again. So, I just went ahead and plopped some out of there. I've got my tile over here ready. Okay, so I'm moving along here. Now I'm just doing a blop and doing single sheets at a time now, so scan it out. Bring the trowel through it. A little more mud here. Fine. And then we stick it into there. Okay. It's easier to do with 2 hands. Okay. Okay, I didn't do too bad for pre-measuring. I forgot I need to cut a whole bunch of little triangles there, and over here I needed to cut down the pieces a little more than I had cut down. Same with right here. I could have done a better job at aligning things beforehand. It looks pretty good, and the grout should fill it all in nicely. I probably shouldn't have pressed down as hard as I did on the tile, but yeah, it'll be alright. Okay, well, it's all been placed. Now some more cleanup. I already wiped that down, but there's lots of stuff to clean up. I saved all of my half and larger pieces in here. Got one sheet to take back. Now time for a cleanup. Alright, so the mortar is dry. I've cleaned up the area. Now it's time to do the grout. Well, I took and put 48 ounces of water in there. I dumped a 10-pound bag in there, stirred it for 5 minutes, and let it sit for 5 minutes. Now I'm back to stir it for 2, and then we'll start spreading it on. Alright, I'm ready to spread now. I panicked for a second because I did not get my tools together, and my garage is a mess because it's a house I just moved into. So again, get all your tools ready and lay it out before you start. Make sure your work area is clean and be safe. So you lay it on thick, and you really want to push it down into all the crevices. We're going to get pushed all into the crevices before we come back with a sponge and wipe all the stuff off the tiles. So I really push it into there. And you can see it gets into the crevices. Okay, I've squished away as much as I could with the trowel, or with the float, and now I'm going to go ahead and use my sponge. And I'll wipe it. I'm going to turn it. And then I'm going to wring it out and do it again. Okay, I have to say this is killing me. It's like 100 degrees in here, and I'm just dying, and I've used the bathtub, and cleanup's going to be a disaster. Alright, so I've spread this mess, and I could have made my life much easier by following the directions. That's a good thing to know. So I was trying to float it on, pull it off, and then sponge it. And of course the sponge was getting really dirty really fast. That's because you're supposed to give it 15 minutes. So let's see if we do the rest of this the right way. It's amazing what happens when you do things the right way. 2 strokes of the sponge and that's going to clean. Cleaned up here. I think I'm going to be okay. So I get my sponge, I wring it out well, I make a pass, turn the sponge over, and I make another pass. Okay, well, it didn't come out half bad. Still have to seal the grout, I guess, and then maybe give it a polish, but a lot to clean up. Okay, I've not cleaned up yet, but the toilet installed just fine. I forgot it was actually raised up over the carpet too, so I don't know what I was thinking. So the toilet installed, baseboard installed, gotta clean up still. My wife got the tub sparkly clean. Gotta throw the door back on, and hardware to put on the cabinets, and then we'll be done. Okay, I put it back together. New hardware on little cabinets. New baseboards. I'm gonna paint this little piece of trim all the way around. It's all looking pretty good. The door is back on. Of course, it's paying attention to detail that matters, because there was a tiny screw caught under that door, and it dragged and made a scratch on my new floor. That's it.